Today is an interesting one. This was a suggestion from one of my Discord server members, link on screen of course, named 50606. Apologies, that caught me off guard for a second. If you would like me to try your challenge ideas, be sure to join my Discord or leave a comment. And while you're down there, would you kindly click the subscribe button? That's a Bioshock reference. Anyway, today's challenge is one that a lot of you are going to despise me for, in all honesty. This is such a problem in My Hero Ultra Rumble solo matches that it took me all of 4 tries to succeed, and all 4 times were technically partial wins. Cutting straight to the point here, our challenge today is to answer the question, can you win a game of My Hero Ultra Rumble by only teaming? Now, this sounds a bit too easy at first, but there's some pretty heavy restrictions in play here. The rules are as follows. I cannot deal damage or KO anyone. I have to let whoever I'm teaming with do all the work for combat. This brings me to rule number 2. I absolutely must make a friend in each match. Multiple friends are allowed, of course, but to avoid this just turning into a pacifist run again, I added the stipulation that I must somehow become allied with someone in each match. Now, I am allowed to drop items to anyone I've seduced, but as far as actual combat assistance, I cannot help at all. And with that being said, let's begin. Starting off here, the first thing I wanted to do was get my gamma to level 4, so I'd have my full movement available to me in case things went south. Since I can't hurt anyone myself, there's no point in leveling up my other quirk skills. So I found Coda using gamer instincts and got ready to try befriending several bloodthirsty maniacs. I tried turning this Dinky's eyes, but unfortunately he was absolutely not interested in a committed relationship, meaning I had to try finding another person that wouldn't leave me like my dad did to go get the milk. Please home, Dad. We've got more while you were out. I did pick up a strike card just in case the Dinky decided to come crawling back, but I kinda forgot to look at his alpha and realized that he's not a strike Dinky. He's a tech Dinky. Yeah, well, potato, tomato, you know how it is. Anyway, I decided to loot a destruction area for a bit, hoping to come across a larger item bag and some healing, although I did pick up a technical card just in case this spreading peace and love turns violent. I did make my first friend here, though, that being this Kendo. I immediately emoted, dropped some items, and this secured me their friendship surprisingly quickly. I started to turn around, and I was greeted immediately by a second friend. Seriously, 2 birds with 1 stone. I now had a Kendo and a Deku that wouldn't attack me on sight. I thought that meant I had this in the bag for sure. I ended up following Deku for a while, hoping he could protect me from any imminent danger. Get down, Mr. President! No! But no, seriously, I felt like we were really getting to hang out some as I followed him, dropping items and emoting, keeping up with him best I could. I mean, look at this. We're literally running side by side. Is this not the perfect scenario for this challenge idea? See, I then made a critical mistake. I thought the Deku was going to follow me to the item box here, but evidently he either didn't see where I went or just didn't care to follow. This meant that although I had made 2 friends, I was defenseless once more. At least that's what I thought until this Tamaki came out of nowhere and said hi. I have a 3rd friend. At this point, I should totally put together a band, try and get everyone together. It'd be so cool to see 4 people all hanging out, but unfortunately that'd be way harder to do than I thought. I followed Tamaki for a bit until we ran into the Strike Kendo. I thought Tamaki would have to put her down, but she eventually overcame her violent instincts and decided that peace was, in fact, an option. This fight did distract me from the fact that Deku died. He got obliterated by the Tech Dinky? No.
Oh, 16, I wanted you to be the wind beneath my wings. But all you've done is take the wind out of my sails.
That meant that it was me, Kendo, and Tamaki facing down this blood-crazed Dinky. And believe me, I was not looking forward to this. There was this pretty funny moment, though, I'm not gonna lie. I got hit by one of Dinky's traps, and I used the damage indicator to tell me where he was, and I used my point emote to point him out to the Kendo. This was absolutely a
Boons attack
moment. I spent an embarrassing amount of time searching for this Dinky before realizing he'd made his way through Storm on top of the UA building here. The funniest part is, if he didn't have an entire military-grade minefield up there, I wouldn't have even suspected he was up there due to the circumstances. And then, when all hope seemed lost, I heard a voice crying out from inside the UA.
Be friends, can't we?
Yes! The Dinky came around. I knew he wouldn't leave me like that, despite all the heartbreak and all the friends lost along the way. He finally came around. I couldn't believe it. I genuinely thought he'd be the final boss of this match, but no. He saw the light of friendship and walked towards it without a shred of fear or reserve in his heart. Deep respect for the Zappy boy. I did try to sneak this item box for extra green pots, but this is where I realized I made a fatal mistake. See, I'm playing Rapid Toga. The thing about most Rapid characters is they tend to have lower HP than the rest of the cast, for the most part. My 237 HP, with tuning, wasn't enough to Stormstall Final Circle without support cards. And would you look at my current ability cards? You see a green heart there? No? Well, this epiphany didn't occur to me until I was opening this box, wherein I realized my mistake. The box did drop a single support card, but in my heart, I knew that a single level 4 support card wasn't going to buy me much time. It would not be enough. This means I was entirely at the mercy of my newfound friends. If they managed to down each other, I'd win. If they gave me the match, I'd win. But if any of them put even an ounce of effort into storm stalling, I'd lose. The Kendo and the Dinky did actually get into a fight as Final Circle was closing, but that meant that the Tamaki was still free. This meant that if he had the desire to take the match, he absolutely could. The only winning options were now between myself and Tamaki. At least that's what I thought until I saw the Dinky dining on asphalt. Apparently this Kendo you do not mess with. Then I heard Tamaki and Kendo start fighting, and Tamaki uses Plus Ultra. This was good, because it can give you a few ticks of invincibility to storm damage, which could absolutely mess me up. Now, the Tamaki did own the Kendo, somehow, but I messed up big time here. See, dropping off this roof made me take too much storm damage before I could heal again. That's how I lost this challenge on easily the most promising run. A rookie mistake like that. So that hurt. The next two matches were short and plagued by this Tenya that's playing on the wrong server and disemboweling people for no reason aside from stroking his ego. This guy was allergic to fun, seriously. He's just sitting here playing like his family's honor is on the line. Meanwhile, I'm out here just trying to make a couple of friends. I'm just theorizing here, but I think they do this because they're not good enough at the game to compete in their own servers, so they pop over to European and US servers to make themselves feel better. It's kinda sad. Anyhow, I decided to try my luck with Overhaul for two reasons. I didn't want a repeat of my prior mistake where I messed up the Stormstall. Overhaul has 120 HP more than my Rapid Toga, plus special action in the event of an emergency. He's the perfect Stormstall character. I ran into this Endeavor first, so of course I tried to get him to join my currently non-existent crew. He didn't seem interested in acknowledging me at first. A bit rude, but I'm feeling merciful today. As such, I'll give him another chance. But this was actually baffling to me. He looked right at me, literally stopping in his tracks for a moment, and proceeds to ignore me. Me. How dare he... But I digress. These things happen, you know. I ended up just gathering a few more healing supplies and boosting my defense card a little higher. On a related note, I finally got another 2 yellow cards, so now my plan of becoming a rock wall could be put into effect when I felt threatened. I also grabbed a couple of technical cards so that I could reload my special action faster in Storm later. I'll delve more into my Stormstall strategy when we get to that point in the video, but until then, be patient. I ran into this Shinso and Kendo, and I tried becoming friends with them, but the Kendo seemed far more interested in figuring out how many pieces she could fracture my skull into before I finally begged for the sweet release of death. The Endeavor from earlier also panic shot me with his beta, so... yeah, getting hit with a nuclear weapon was pretty fun, let me tell you. But this challenge requires that I have at least one friend.
Before this night is over, I will make a friend.
I got jumped by the Kendo again while I was trying to catch up to Endeavor, so I had to perform a maneuver that realistically should have broken my hand. However, it was fast enough to give me a slight speed advantage against the Kendo, assisting in my escape. See, Overhaul doesn't have horizontal movement, but he does have excellent downwards movement. Aiming a beta at the ground midair will have him plunge towards the concrete at alarming speeds with only a single hand outstretched. Now, if he had performed this in real life, the results would be... pretty conclusive. But this is a game. What can you do, you know? But yeah, that maneuver gave me just enough of an advantage for me to lose the kendo completely. I still hadn't made a friend this match, and seeing as how it was just me and 4 other people, things were starting to look bleak. I just needed one single friend. In the meantime, I prepared for a storm stall. I got another technical card, started stocking up on green pots, and got a rapid card too. This will be important later. But I saw what I first thought was 2 kendos fighting, but it turns out one was the kendo that had been volunteering me for blood donations. The other was a tech toga. And then a miracle happened. The kendo that had been giving me pain all game started healing, and I was able to approach an emote, essentially stating my intentions to become best friends. I even dropped a few blue pots to further cement my request, and it was accepted. She emoted and didn't attack me. That counts. Now, I knew kendo was on my side. So all that was left to do, aside from attempting to expand my social circle, was finish preparing to storm stall. This meant leveling up ability cards and getting more green pots. Or so I thought, until Toga decided to blitz in and cut my left pinky finger off. Turns out she was being chased by a different kendo, an assault kendo, so that beta actually wasn't intended for me. Her second one was, though. So I headed outside to heal up, since I absolutely wanted none of that right now. I still had a ton of prep to do, and now shield to recover. I spectated Kendo and Toga for a bit, tried to increase my friend count through the follow me emote. Easily my favorite emote on him, by the way. It's so good for recruiting randoms to your cause. Then the strike Kendo from before. My knight in shining armor comes to take down this Toga on caffeine. Like, true, she hit me a couple times in the process, but it's no big deal because I wasn't her target. I caught the assault Kendo healing, and at first she panicked, but once I dropped her a few blue pots, I had my second ally. I had managed to make 2 friends so far, and the Endeavor was potentially an acquaintance. Honestly, I wasn't sure about him yet. And then I took another nuclear strike to the frontal lobe. I began to understand that me and this Endeavor were not friends. We were merely tolerating each other's existence. All of these thoughts raced through my mind as Endeavor launched another blast. As I fell, I started thinking, why are we still here? Just to suffer. Every night, I feel my arm. I actually had to threaten a blue-shirted civilian because I used up a big shield pot each time Endeavor one-tapped my shield. But don't worry, guys, his damage is balanced. You could literally see me checking the rooftop in case he launched another airstrike, which I thought was kind of funny. I realized I didn't have enough green pots to properly storm stall, so I had to grab this item box too. I was scared Endeavor would interrupt me, but I had to try anyway, otherwise I lose. After getting all the contents of the first box, I saw that a second one had just dropped too, so I tried for that one too. You know, you can never be too prepared for a storm stall. Now, as you can see, both the Toga and the Strike Kendo went down here, leaving me, the Assault Kendo, and Endeavor. This was not exactly an ideal situation. If the Endeavor went to guard the box, or even threw a prominence burn that way, I would be found out with nowhere to hide. My only chance was making him my friend. And then it happened. It actually happened. It took 3 airstrikes, being ignored and looking over my shoulder for the sky-high boogeyman. But it finally happened. The Endeavor became my friend too. This was absolutely perfect. Literally best case scenario. I was set up perfectly to storm stall, and both remaining players are friendly. I finally had it. Now, of course, I couldn't just enjoy winning without spending some time with my new best buddies, so I played on a trampoline here for quite a long while, waited for the storm to move again, and the whole time I was just having the time of my life. Kendo even tried playing a sort of timing game to see if she could hit me while I was jumping. I even used my betas to hit the ground faster just to give the illusion that my spikes were flinging me upwards. The Endeavor did end up getting to final box up top, and that started to worry me for the storm stall. If he got that box, he could be holding just as many greens as I am, meaning that the deciding factor would be my special action. If I mess this up, it could be game. I took one final look at my inventory. 11 big green pots, 2 level 6 technical cards, a level 5 rapid card, 2 mid-level assault cards. I was gonna have to trash those. I didn't need to start stalling and accidentally trigger one, wasting my reload speed boost time by not allowing me to activate my purple cards. I could hear the 2 of them above me, and there was 30 seconds to the closing of Final Circle, So now would be an excellent time to explain my method of storm stalling with Overhaul. You see, Overhaul has a special action called Restoration that can be used to instantly refill your entire green HP bar as well as half a shield bar. It's this first aspect that's important here. By holding the special action button, you can refill your green HP in an instant, which gives Overhaul a significant advantage when storm stalling. This is because you don't have to start the heal off immediately. You can instead run much further into Storm, use special action, and then begin the heal off, dramatically reducing your chances of being interrupted during the storm stall to almost 0. This is where the Rapid card becomes useful. It gives you a speed boost of 10%, which can be used to push even further into Storm. Then, after using special action and beginning the heal off, after your first pot, trigger any technical cards you may have. This will reload your special action faster and allow you to use it a second time during the stall. This essentially means that you have 2 instant large green pots that you can trigger whenever needed. And if you use plus chaos, you get your special action back instantly, so there's some incentive to hang on to that. Anyhow, the Endeavor was incredibly well prepared for the stall, but unfortunately, I'd played this out too well. I still had a green pot and my special action left, and I was almost to plus chaos. There was no world in which he won this. So that answers the question, can you win a game of My Hero Ultra Rumble by only teaming? Yes. Yes, you can. I would like to go ahead and apologize in advance for any of the audio difficulties we've been having. I believe I mentioned this a bit in the stream that we had last night, but my cat decided that my headphones were a tasty snack. So, yeah, I'm using a different headset, so I do apologize for any, I know there's like this undertone sound, it's like this humming, I can't figure out where it's coming from or whatnot. But anyway, I appreciate each and every single one of y'all for stopping by, and I genuinely hope that each and every one of you has enjoyed. You know, this took me a lot longer than it should have, and I apologize. This should have been out 2 days ago. But yeah, I do apologize again, and I hope that everybody has a really, really good day. Thank you so much. If you do want to support me, I definitely would advise, liking, subscribing, joining the Discord server, even stopping by a couple of our streams. So yeah, I greatly appreciate it, and you have a good one. Bye-bye.